Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Naaman with the Great Millstone Camp here in Washington, D.C., back for another video. First and foremost, call all Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rekah HaKodash. And of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and the byways, pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth, of course, aided by the many, many videos that go up and are out there for the edification of the hopeful elect of the house of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites. All right. And of course, we understand that a lot of you view these videos and it's entertainment to you. You know, hey, that's on you. Very serious about this. And of course, the prophecies that are happening right before your eyes, if you can't see that, you don't have that eye salve, hey, maybe you should. Because this is one of these things where, you know, we say the hopeful elect because we don't know for sure. But yes, we are serious, very serious about this. All right. You understand you need to repent in these times because it's only going to get worse. All right. So this is copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair uses are use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right? And I have to stress, I'm not doing this to make any kind of profit. All right? This is strictly for criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, such as it says. All right? So, here we go. Once again, I hope that by now you saw this video that crooked ass judge down there in Texas for the Karmelo Anthony case, who, as I've heard, just recently retired. All right, but this is Tariq Nasheed's channel here. He goes in on it, but I'm not going to play the video. I'll just trust that you have seen it. If not, please do so. It's clear that this kid was railroaded. Wow. Just wow. This just goes to prove for you people that have faith in this wicked ass system. Oh man. This is Psalms 43:1. I'll come back to this one. Judge me, O Most High. The Most High's name is Yahweh. And plead my cause against an ungodly nation. O deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man. And as you saw when I first clicked on here, let's go back. Psalm 71:4. Deliver me, O my God, out of the hand of the wicked, out of the hand of the unrighteous and cruel man. This was them, I guess it's tantamount to a shot across the bow type of thing. They're trying to tell Jake. And as I mentioned before, they released this on Juneteenth on purpose as a mockery. All right. Wow. And you even have these who I call conservatives, all right, agreeing with this shit. These jakes that, you know, want to get a pat on the head by our oppressor, you know, getting that bag. And this kid is, man, you know, but at the same time we were talking, the Most High this is happening to this kid for a reason. All right. Wow. You know, other than judgment, you know. Oh man. So here we go. This is the Amazing Lucas, and he has this show every Friday. It's called Disagreement Day, as you see at the top. All right. Call in if you dare. And they be going at it, especially these last, couple of weeks or so. A little bit more, considering you had the child case down South Carolina. But all these racists, and it's clear that they just they want to shed or to keep the blame on Jake so bad, and everybody's all right not recognizing that these two brothers were terrors. They were literal pieces of shit. All right, they were bullies. None of this was allowed to be brought up by this judge who just up and retired all of a sudden. The prosecutor and his defense, or lack thereof, used to work together. The father, there's pictures of all of them together. Yeah. And one thing I brought up after camp today, uh, these people are calling in and said whenever something like this happens, they say it's like uh, upwards of maybe 2 months before you're really sent up the river, so to speak. But they heard and got this kid out of there that next day. Yeah. As much as going on, this is just much as is going on elsewhere. Um, I just thought I'd play this and just see how simple this is. You don't have to have a college degree like they make out, well, you need to understand it. No, I don't. Here we go.
Take the call, fam. Pack it up, wrap it up, go home.
I hope the volume's okay. Let me check.
You're on the line. What's the disagreement?
My disagreement is I don't think Karmelo Anthony was justified in killing Austin Metcalf. I think if you're going to be in a fight, you don't need to fucking stab someone. That's just my opinion.
I understand. Who said there was going to be a fight?
Well, Austin shoved Karmelo, right? So then now they're in an altercation.
See, they love
and I feel like
hanging their head on
not
that.
A coward, you fight like a man.
I don't know what that fight like a man means. What do you mean?
Shove him back, punch him, kick him, but you don't need to kill him. I mean,
do you think that he intended to kill him?
Wait, sorry, what you say?
Do you think he intended to kill him?
I mean, no, I don't think he intended to kill him.
Okay, so that right there qualifies as manslaughter, not as murder. Secondly, just because you get in a fight doesn't mean you can't get killed. So do I have to get into a fight to prove my manhood? And if I die, I guess I die a man, according to you?
No.
Okay, good. Just so we're clear. So, Karmelo, upon him fearing for his life that he was about to suffer serious bodily injury, he's well.
And that choice of words is very important because that's the first thing they scream. I was in fear for my life. Coincidentally, what's going on down in Mississippi right now, when this cop in Senatobia, Mississippi, just murdered this 1-year-old shooting into the car because they suspected that the mother, which had nothing to do with it, and her friend who she was riding with, they were suspected of shoplifting. So the police fired into the car after the mother held up her baby to show them that there was a baby in the vehicle. That's another video. But just to let you know, they like saying that, well, I was in fear for my life, when clearly the car was going away from them. Here we go again. All right, continuing on.
Within his legal right for self-defense.
Well, sure, he's well as within his legal right for self-defense, but that doesn't mean manslaughter and someone dies. If this is a high schooler, I don't think most.
No one says that it does, right?
Not,
But that is a possible outcome, as it is with the fight. You can punch somebody, they go unconscious, they hit the ground, now they're brain damaged. Dunzo.
right. So, did you watch the video of the footage?
Mm-hmm.
Shoved him once. I mean, it didn't even look like a hard shove.
He shoved him once because he got stabbed. So who's to say he wouldn't keep, as far as progress from a shove to a punch to a kick to be violent? He's already showed that he has no impulse control.
Well, you know, when
So
you're
do
not
I have to
somewhere-
get my ass kicked in order to defend myself first?
I mean, yeah, you can defend yourself. Everyone has the
Okay,
right
great.
to
So
defend
that's exactly what he did. Now, because his attorney, I would say, poorly argued, laid out his argument in court, doesn't mean that he doesn't have a right for self-defense. It's just a bad argument.
Okay.
Just a bad attorney.
So I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you were in high school, did you bring knives to high school events?
So when it comes to the knife, the only person who could tell you why he had a knife at an event, because it seemed to be a as they said on the stand, multi-function knife, would be Karmelo Anthony. But bringing a knife, there's nothing wrong with bringing a knife. People bring AR-15s in the grocery store all the time. Should they not have their AR-15 in the grocery
Okay,
store?
we're talking about a high school event.
I understand. It has nothing to do with a high school. I'm talking about a grocery store. So which one? Do you think that people should be allowed to have their AR-15s in a grocery store?
I mean, if they
Listen to
have
this.
license and it's
What
legal
reason
where-
would you have to have? What reason would you need to have an AR-15 in a grocery store, fam?
I mean, there's a lot of crazy people nowadays.
I didn't ask that. Give me a reason why you need an AR-15 in a grocery store. Because of this magical crazy person that's gonna come and kill you in the grocery store.
I mean, there's so many public shootings.
So
in America.
the reason
You
why
know
people
that.
need an
You know
AR-15
that.
in the grocery store is because the crazy people come into the grocery store.
If someone wants to, just like you said, if someone has the right to self-defense, then they have the right to self-defense.
Okay, that's great.
Oh.
So the same
They
reason
just-
Karmelo Anthony has a right to have a knife on him.
Okay. He has the right to. I'm saying he wasn't justified in stabbing him. I mean, his
The only
impulse,
person to come to
talk
that
about
conclusion-
impulse.
the only-
you
the
talk
only-
about you talk about impulse control,
The-
and if, in my opinion, it shows that Karmelo
Good
Anthony
point.
has zero impulse.
It actually
control.
shows he has higher impulse control than
Because
Austin.
why-
First and foremost, because Austin is dead. Well, rest in piss. But secondly, he even gave him a warning.
Wow.
He was there that entire time peacefully. The only person that had a problem with was Austin Metcalf. He went out of his way
Okay,
to put.
it-
Hold on.
You
Hold on. Let me-
know how
you
Karmelo
said
gave
Austin.
him the
Wait,
warning.
you said impulse control, so I'm going to show you who had more impulse control. Let me prove my case. Austin Metcalf. Karmelo there was sitting there for a few minutes. No problem. No issues. No one got stabbed. Magic, huh? It wasn't until Austin Metcalf got there that not only did he aggress him, right, approach him, had no reason to approach him, but then got into a fight with him, and then physically escalated after being warned, hey, touch me again and see what happens. Not only does that show me, from the outside looking in, that Austin Metcalf seems to be either retarded or his brain wasn't functioning that day, but he also has violent tendencies and a low impulse control, which is a recipe for disaster. Now, given the fact that Karmelo was 5'6", 5'8", 100-something pounds soaking wet, and you have this linebacker who's aggressing you, yes, I'm not going to fight a linebacker being sitting down, haven't shown any hostility. I just don't want to be in the cold. I'm talking with friends here, the friends who then betrayed me on court, right in court. No reason. The only person who got
Okay,
up, who
so
showed to got up,
are you
was
telling-
Austin Metcalf. The only person to aggress
So,
was Austin
are you
Metcalf.
telling me, out of all the decisions Mr. Karmelo could have made that day, in terms of,
Here we go.
stabbing the kid or defending himself, whatever, he could have walked away. I know.
So
Here's the problem I have with the walk away. He had no problem up until Austin Metcalf came there. So the person who should have been walking away was Austin Metcalf. Because
That's
Austin
Austin
Metcalf is
Metcalf.
dead. If Austin
He was
Metcalf
in the
had
wrong.
engaged, he was not in the wrong. There was
Someone
nothing.
has no impulse
Hold
control,
on, he was.
and they don't have hands. They
He
don't have
wasn't.
hands.
You can say that all the time. Sure. Yeah. I don't have hands. I don't have hands. Absolutely. But you're dead and I'm alive. Now what? So what is this hands? This sounds like some some boomer talk. Man, put him up. Put Beat him up. Come on. Fight like a man. I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not getting my hands dirty. You touch me, I fear for my life. I'm going to put a bullet right through your fucking dome. That's what I'm going to do. How about that?
Oh, even in
And then I'm gonna take my chances in court. I'm gonna take my chances in court, get the best attorneys out there, and I'm gonna take my chances in court. That's what I'm gonna do. In the meantime, between time, you're dead.
All right.
So all of this, put them up, put your dukes up. That isn't. I don't know what planet you are. I know how old you are, but you talk like a boomer. At the end of the day, the person who should have engaged, the person who had more to lose, was Austin Metcalf. He was the aggressor the entire time. No one had a problem with Karmelo Anthony. Even up until the point he got stabbed, Karmelo Anthony was sitting down. He didn't stand up and was like, all right, let's go. He's like, listen, bro, you touch me again, see what happens.
First of all, you don't know how Karmelo Anthony was talking to Austin Metcalf in that camp.
Uh-oh.
I don't care how he was talking to me in that camp.
So you don't know the tone in which he was speaking to Cap Twain.
So who does that?
Isn't it what they've been, their argument has been lately with, what's his name, Chud the Builder, who's now locked up, and all these other pieces of shit that are trying to imitate him. One has lost an eye. I found out. Well, no one should be getting upset by just by a word. Isn't that what they're saying when it comes to Jake? Oh. So listen to him trying to make that reverse argument.
You're proving my point, right? Let's say Karmelo Anthony, which hasn't been proven, right? Because we had one witness who simply said, no, there was no cursing going on. There was no cursing going on, right? But let's just say that guy's lying and the other guy's telling the truth. Fine. Karmelo Anthony's cursing up a storm. Let's say I'll give you that, because it has no bearing on my argument. Let's say he's cursing up a storm. Now what? So now you're proving my point that Austin Metcalf did not have self-control. That he allowed words to now get him dead. That if he had just had self-control and impulse control and had an IQ above room temperature, he simply said, you know what? I'm going to go get the coat. I'm going to be a tattletale, right?
You think Karmelo's life was in danger when he shoved him?
The only person to answer the only person. Yes. If I shove you, depending on where I shove you and how you fall, you have to
okay, that light shove. We saw the footage.
I don't know how you can say it was a light shove. Are you Karmelo Anthony? If I shove a light shove for me being 200 plus pounds, and a light shove for me being 200 plus pounds, and a light shove for a 140 pound kid, it's gonna be two different things, bruh. So force is relative. This is why I'm saying I'm breaking you down right now. I don't even have a law degree. This is the issue that I have with the bullshit of defense that he had in court. That's the whole point. The whole point, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
And that's what I mentioned at the onset of the video. This is proving that this kid was railroaded. He had technically no defense. And it makes me believe more and more, or it's harder for me to believe, that his defense wasn't in on it. Again, they all knew each other. The dad, the judge, the DA, and his defense. The defense and the prosecution used to work together. Remember, these are relatively small southern towns. All right? Deep South, being in Texas. That's why they call it Dirty South. Everybody knows, and even the cheerleaders, all right, rumor has it, the rumor control has it that, and I only say it that way because I heard this through the grapevine, so to speak, that the cheerleaders, these bullies, bullied the cheerleaders, and they had problems with them, but because of how hot it is, and I mean hot, not temperature-wise, but where they live, they were afraid to testify. Also, there's the issue of some people being paid off. And you have to wonder, being that the times that we're in, kids record everything. When they think there's going to be some drama, You see the cell phones coming out. Where are these videos? Think about that. And what we always talk about, staying on code. Yeah.
Saying that there was no reasonable doubt that this kid, while sitting down, surrounded by people who were ostensibly his friends, but then turned on him, who had this 6-foot linebacker approach him aggressively, try to start a fight with him, put hands on him, to say that that kid had no reasonable fear that serious bodily injury was going to be accosted to him is foolishness. Is idiocy. The only people who believe that are low IQ people are just bona fide racists. That's it. That's why I'm saying my issue is not really with the jury. It's not with the judge. It's not even with the prosecutors. There's a prosecutor. They're supposed to paint that narrative. My issue is with the defense. That's it. Yeah, that's Sai. I hear you. I appreciate the call, fam. Pack it up, wrap it up, go home. Yeah, that side, that's a side of defeat, fam. That's a side fucking defeat. What the fuck are we talking about? This shit was not a hard case to prove in court. It wasn't a hard case to prove in court. They had no special witnesses, no experts, nothing. The one person they had on that was a friend turned on him in court. You tell me you didn't prep your own witness, fam? I have no problem with people think, oh, he just killed him. He was just a cold-blooded killer. Oh, sure, by all means. If that's what you believe, by all means.
And that's a good point. Something happened with that so-called friend. Now, he was supposed to be for the defense, but he gets up there and ends up benefiting the prosecution. This friend was the one that supposedly invited Karmelo to the tent. Yeah.
Facts and evidence don't prove that. By every stretch of your imagination, the worst perspective for Karmelo Anthony, the worst, I'm talking about the worst, manslaughter.
So there you go. Wow. Not much more to say on that. All right. I heard an appeal was immediately put together. I guess they're looking for new lawyers and a change of venue. But yeah, these are some low down. Hey, they don't call it the dirty South for nothing. All right. And I wouldn't expect the feds, considering the administration that's in power now, to intervene. Oh boy. Anyway, so there you have it. Once again, this is from the amazing Lucas. He tried to disagree and then accidentally proved my point. So, like I said, you don't have to be so-called highly educated to see this for what it is. All right. All right, so with that, once again, I hope whoever views this has been edified. That's what we do here at Great Millstone. Filter everything through the scriptures. And would hope that you continue to be circumspect out here. All right, keep your eyes and ears open. All right, especially now. All right, so with that, until the next video, hey, shalom.